Hey, Chris at Gadgets and Gravel. So I got a new one for you today. I've got a dog, two cats, two kids, myself and my wife, all living in a house with a lot of carpet in the country off gravel roads. So that means there's typically a mess. Keeping the house clean with a family or not, living in the country can be a challenge and a daily requirement. The cool thing about this robot vacuum from eufy is that not only does it take care of the floors from the dust and stuff that gets carried in by me, my kids, pets, and everybody else, it also has a carpet cleaner to clean up messes, making this the perfect vacuum for families or families with pets. Stick around, let me tell you about it. All right off the bat, eufy did send me this vacuum for testing purposes, so they will get no input on the video, however, and not get to see the video prior to it going live. So this is completely my opinion, unaffected by what eufy may have sent or thought. So moving on. So like I said, this is the eufy Omni E28 vacuum cleaner, mop vac combo. The dock self-emptying, cleans the mop, rinses the mop off, refills the vacuum with clean water. All of that is stored in here. So the dirty water goes on this side, clean water here, which is also used for the carpet cleaner. So this is a spot cleaner built into the whole system. Self-empties, stores all the dust. This is a really cool unit here. Not only did eufy decide to give us a spot cleaner with this vacuum, but they're also including the vacuum itself, which is a high-end, high-performance vacuum cleaner with a cool mopping system, extendable reach arm, and everything like that. So let's get into some of the basics of what this vacuum can do and why I think this might be the best vacuum cleaner for families with kids or pets, whichever you go with. All right, so let's get into the basics of what we got with the vacuum cleaners first. So eufy, like I said, included a high-end vacuum cleaner with this. This isn't just a basic vacuum cleaner with a spot cleaner for a lot of money. Nope, I'm gonna give you a really high-end vacuum cleaner here. So the cool thing with this, it's got tons of features, cameras, sensors, all that good stuff you would expect. It all works really well. So you got your LiDAR sensor on top, which emits lasers trying to help with navigation and positioning. It's got cameras on the front with depth sensors that eufy calls AIC, S-E-E, not the letter C. On the front here, it's got sensors on the side. The watering system that helps to distribute water for the mopping purposes as well as clean the mop. eufy calls their hydrojet system. It's got dual side brushes. One is fixed, so it stays in position, spins, gets up off the sides of the walls, things like that. The other one extends out, so actually swings out to reach corners, things like that as it moves across the edges of your room. On the underside, eufy has got an interesting brush situation here. So to try and help avoid tangles, eufy went with this brush. It's actually a dual brush, and the cool thing is to like clean stuff out of it, they actually just swing out. You don't have to remove the whole thing. They're individual brushes that swing out, and then eufy also has a kind of a scraper inside that as the brushes spin around, it helps to remove some of the hair that may get tangled around it to help reduce tangles. My wife has longer hair, so we have always battled with tangles and brushes on vacuum cleaners and things like that. This vacuum cleaner has not gotten tangled up, so it's done a really good job of keeping that clean. Along with the brushes, eufy has what I really like. There's three main types of mops that you'll find on vacuum cleaners. You've got the pad that vibrates really fast as it mops across messes. You've got the spinning mops, which are my second favorite. Spins around, scrubbing the floor. And then my favorite is what eufy uses here, and as well as some of their previous vacuums. It's a long roller, similar to like a paint roller. It's a long roller, spinning really fast, scrubbing, and it's getting pressed down onto the mess to help kind of clean it up. And as it spins around, the vacuum cleaner is putting clean water onto it, and then on the back side, it's scraping the dirty water and squeegeeing that off of it and storing it, so it's constantly putting down clean water when it's cleaning. So it's not recycling any of that water like other mops would be doing. It's actually removing the dirty water as it cleans, so it's constantly putting clean water. So I really like that. It does a fantastic job of cleaning. That's kind of the basics of the vacuum. If you've used any robot vacuums in the past, high-end vacuums especially, a lot of this will be familiar to you. If you haven't, and you've used a lot of just kind of basic standard types of vacuum mops, definitely check this out from eufy. They've got a lot of their vacuums as well if you're not interested in the spot cleaner. But if you own a home that has carpet in it, you really ought to consider this vacuum. So let's jump into the spot cleaner, what that can do for you. All right, so let's talk about the spot cleaner part of this. This is the thing that really makes this stand out as the perfect vacuum for families, especially if you have pets or young kids, or you're just clumsy. Either way, is this spot cleaner attachment. It's such a cool idea, and I'm really glad to finally see something like this come out. eufy's been a good job of kind of trying to innovate and do different things with vacuums. Last year they had the Omni 1 Pro, which was really cool. In the water, it actually would inject ozone into it and to help to clean out any potential algae or mold or bacteria that may be trying to grow in the water tank. So it actually just emit ozone and create ozone within it, which would elevate the oxygen levels and kill all that stuff. So it was a really cool feature to ensure you're getting clean water when you're mopping. They also have their other model, I believe it's the E26. I'll notate it up here if I'm wrong. But it's kind of cool, whereas it's a vacuum cleaner, it has a removable hand vac into it that acts as the vacuum part, which is a great idea for smaller apartments and things like that. But this one, they added the spot cleaner. Really, really cool idea. So the way this works is it lifts off just like this, and unfortunately it's not battery powered, so hopefully that's the next iteration, is I'll have the ability to not have to be plugged in. So you do have to have the spot cleaner plugged in wherever you take it to do your cleaning. It has a really long cord, so I do appreciate that eufy thought through that. So the way this works is much like any other spot cleaners. If you've ever used one, little things you take to clean messes up. You got a tank here, you open it and fill this with your clean water, which is the same water that the vacuum uses to mop with. On the back side is a removable tank that is the dirty water. So when you're using the spot cleaner or the vacuum, all that dirty water gets put into this one tank here for emptying later. On the side here, you got a plastic cover with your hose and the scrubber. The really cool thing that eufy did with the scrubber is, so it's got the brushes on the front, it sucks out the water as you're cleaning, so clean up the mess as you're cleaning. So it's got a button here to spray clean water onto that to help kind of break up whatever the mess is. But when you're done, so on the front, you've got a little plastic window so you can kind of see the mess getting sucked up, so you know it's pulling out water and all that stuff. But a lot of cleaners, if you ever use a spot cleaner, that nozzle where the water comes out and it cleans up the mess, and then any kind of window you may have where you can see the mess, and especially even within the hose, that all gets really gross and dirty, and it's hard to see and clean and get into those areas. eufy included a button on here, I don't know, I call it the magic button, but it actually shoots water up inside of it to help kind of clean that out. So it cleans both the windows so you can kind of make sure it's cleaning and getting everything done. It cleans the jets, helps clean out the hose, and keep the whole system really clean. So when you're done, after you get done cleaning your mess, push that, hold it for a few seconds, you'll see the water coming up through, cleans it out, and you're all done. Roll it back up, shut off, and you're good to go. Super easy to use. When you're done, simply put it back on the dock, and you're ready to go. All done. Super idea. I love this. It's not perfect. There are a few things that I would like to have change or see be done a little bit better, so let's cover that next. While I really like this vacuum, the eufy Omni E28, there are very few things that I don't like about it that I have issues with. One of them is one that I've run into a few times, whereas, and this isn't singular to this particular vacuum, I've had other vacuums that I've tested where I've run across similar issues, but the dustbin gets clogged pretty easy. So within the app, you can tell it how often you want it to empty, and you can manually empty it, tell it when to dry, all that stuff. The app's really great, but the issue I have with the dustbin is it gets clogged easily. So if it picks up a little piece of paper that's fallen on the floor, or a napkin or Kleenex or something like that, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It can be a small chunk of paper. It gets clogged in there easily. So it'll block the port where the dust and debris and everything gets sucked out and put into the dust bag on the main base station. It'll get clogged easily. So, which means if it does that, obviously it's not going to pick up very well. So unfortunately, there's no mechanism to say, hey, it's clogged, the airflow has been reduced or something like that. Would be nice to alert the user to tell me, hey, I need to go clean that thing out myself because it's got a clog. So that'll happen quite a bit. I've run into that quite a few times actually. So there's that issue. Like, see some battery in the portable spot cleaner, so I can just take it, not to worry about unplugging it and dragging that with me as well. Sometimes messes can be where a plug isn't necessarily easily accessible, so battery power doesn't have to run for very long, but that would be a great feature to add on this as well. Outside of that, I think I don't have many other issues. Maybe I'd like to, in the app, you don't have the option to mop only. You can vacuum only or vacuum and mop. I'd like the option to switch to just mop only. I may have an area that I know the floor's not that dirty. I just want to mop up whatever mess happens. That'd be kind of cool. But outside of that, I really don't have many issues with this. This vacuum has been solid. It runs. It doesn't get stuck very often. I'm trying to think if I've had to get stuck at all. I really don't think I have. Some of the newer vacuums are starting to remove this LiDAR tower on top, which makes it a little slimmer and easier to get underneath furniture. In the future, it'd be nice to see that show up. It doesn't get caught on cords, so it does a really good job with that stuff. So minor issues I have with it that I think can be addressed in the future. My final thoughts on the eufy Omni E28 vacuum cleaner. It is great. It is something that, until eufy brought this idea to my attention that they had a vacuum cleaner with a spot cleaner built onto it, I hadn't really thought about it. But now that it's here, I don't see why any vacuum cleaner wouldn't offer something like that. It's a really great feature to have. You don't even have to have pets. You can just spill a drink on the floor in your apartment when you're living in college. Most college kids probably aren't gonna have this, but something like that is a great use for this as well. It's gonna clean up any mess. Obviously, kids and pets, the chance for messes increases. So that's why I think this is a perfect vacuum cleaner setup for any family. The vacuum cleaner does a good job. You can schedule to run wherever you want. You can do zone cleaning, room cleaning, no-go zones, all that's fantastic. But you can get that in a lot of vacuum cleaners. So eufy went ahead and gave you a great vacuum cleaner and included a spot cleaner to help get messes out of the carpet, to kind of give you an all-in-one solution. So I highly recommend this vacuum cleaner. Check it out. I'll link below so you can go purchase it yourself. Get some more information on it if you want. I've got more vacuum cleaner reviews coming up in the future. Stay around for those. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm glad to help you out and answer any questions you may have. So thanks for sticking around. Look forward to seeing the next one.